and to get the result that you're looking for,
Yes.
you have to follow certain methods.
And you have
I mentioned them in my
18.
book. Yeah,
Yes.
18.
18 methods of training.
Yeah.
And I read of them. Can I tell you a few of them and you explain why did you use this? Could you start with storytelling?
Yeah.
Training through
Storytelling.
Yes.
Now, I think you need to know the story, the power of a story first. There was a mother camel and a baby camel walking in the desert. And the baby camel started to ask his mother camel, Mother, why we have thick eyebrows, not like the other animals? Sometimes I cannot see. Then the mother proudly, she responded, Dear, these thick eyebrows are made by God for us camels to protect our eyes from the sand of the desert. I said, okay. And my second question, Mom, why we have long legs and thin, long and thin? She said, the mother camel said, because it is easier for us to have this kind of legs to walk on the sand in the desert. Then the baby camel said, okay, why our feet are just rounded and too big? It's sometimes difficult for me to walk. Then the mother camel said, Dear, it is better for us to have big feet. You know, the sand is moving and we have to be steady on the sand of the desert. So that's why.
So through the story, you
you
get
see?
the information.
Now, the amount of information that's gained through this story, a lot of information.
But this is actually, it's maybe for youngsters.
No, adults.
Even adults.
Adults.
Really?
And by the way,
Actually, I learned.
I'll tell you something very important in training. This story, when I say it to the adults, how I make the approach is the point, not the story itself. It's how you put this story on the track that you want and how to let the story serve your topic.
You mean it's like an information delivery device?
No, actually, my point is not to deliver this information, by the way.
What is the point?
To deliver the way of thinking of the baby camel or the mother camel. I'm telling the adults, not the information that has been, there is information gained, but this is not my target.
The target is
My target to show the adults how the baby camel thinks and how the mother camel thinks.
That's very interesting about this storytelling. And now, because of the time, we will go to the other type, which is the most famous, lecture.
Lecturing is not my favorite, actually, but I'll tell you about it. Not my favorite at all. Lecturing is when you lecture the audience, when you tell them the information.
Which is the traditional way of
very
training.
traditional way of training.
Yes.
And that's why most of the trainers, they rely on it. I mean, it's not correct. It's not right. Training is different from teaching.
Why? Because it's not exciting, or is it
Yeah,
because
because
it's dull?
It's dull. It's dull, boring.
Boring.
But, you know, suppose people, wait, in teaching, it's fine.
in
Okay,
teaching.
45 minutes, 1 hour is fine. I can handle talking.
But training-
5 hours and I'm gaining knowledge and lecturing? No way. Nobody.
So
can
nobody
accept
is using actually in training. They always walk in fields, or they call it.
it. They use the techniques, but we need the trainers to use more techniques and methods, as you mentioned. We want them to use more methods to make training interesting.
Yes, it's very interesting to know about that. And because they are 18, I want to cover
It's fine.
the most I can. One of them training methods is debate.
The debate.
I like to debate, especially when someone said to me that I am wrong. I like to keep going. So how to use debate in training?
Once you divide the audience into two different points,
So you ask them,
one question.
yes,
One question. For
And
example,
divide them.
yeah, you ask them. You see, I'll just tell you two famous questions in this. Famous. The first one, when I have like adults, then I ask the people who is with polygamy, who is against, who is with many wives, and who is against. You know.
Yes.
So I will
will
find
say that.
people they defend the having 4 wives, let's say, and the other will just is one is enough.
And
And
through
they start
that,
to through this I will let them gain what I want.
oh, that's it.
So I let them to defend. Each one will defend his point, and after we have just the last discussion, I'll just go to be a facilitator, not a trainer, to find a common ground
Very
between the two teams.
Creative way of looking at this.
And very powerful and effective.
yes,
Creative, powerful, and effective at the same time.
I think so. And
The second famous one, I will not miss it. When I ask the people, do you do you like to go to be a dictator or democratic in the work field? And I'll find some people they like to go dictator,
and let them
some
debate.
people and let them debate. And at the end of the day, I'll tell them that we need this and we need this, common ground.
Interesting. And also another method is of training is exercise.
Exercises.
Yes, tell us about exercises. I want you to explain. What do you mean by exercising in training? That you give them exercise?
Yes, we have two types of exercises. One is actual and the second is online. The actual exercises, when I just give them, tests,
Yeah.
exercises. When I give them games, exercises. When I give them tasks, it's an exercise. Workshops require exercises.
This is actually also traditional and famous to give them.
It's famous, but the way you handle it will tell a lot about you. I mean, it's not that the exercise itself. I mean, even the debate. Some people they cannot make the debate. They know the debate, but they cannot do it. They cannot handle it. They cannot be good at it.
All right.
So you know the thing, but are you good at it or no? This is the point. This is the question.
It's really interesting how you explain and clarify
a
Yes.
point through an exercise.
Very interesting. Now let's talk about another method, which is discussion. I want you to differentiate between discussion and debate. It's the same. Who's discussing?
The discussion is when I start my training day, let's say, with a question. I'll just ask an open
students.
question to all the people in the room. So I'll just start with a question. Any question. What do you think about traffic jam in Kuwait?
The cause of
Open
traffic.
question.
Yes.
Now you will gain a lot of answers. You start to discuss, no debate. We don't have
debate, yes.
like two people are fighting to prove we don't have this. We have an open discussion.
Everyone with his
Everyone can give me any idea about the traffic jam in Kuwait.
Actually,
as an example.
These methods are very effective. I think
Very effective.
in theory, when I see you talk about them, I think they are very effective because they're new. They make someone really interested in the subject, especially if it's a debate.
You can grab their attention and you can have their full attention once you have something interactive. Interaction is very important in training.
Yes.
You cannot ignore it. Once you don't have interaction in training, it will become like teaching, not training.
Yes.
That is the difference, by the way, between teaching and training. So teaching is providing knowledge, is just lecturing, while training using the methods that you have mentioned.
Very interesting. So for the last one, Dr. Mohammed, could you tell us about the teamwork? Because every exercise, every debate, discussion starts
Requires.
Tell us about teamwork in training.
When we have groups competing to do a task, I can give a task to depends on the number of the people that I have.
Yes.
I can have 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups. This week, today we have 20 people in the training, so we can have 4 groups for sure.